Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It is currently the year 2050. I was still just a boy when the device was first introduced into the retail market some 20 years ago. It was known as the Advanced Binaural Manifestation System, or the ABMS for short. However, most people just simply referred to it as the Manifester. The technology itself was actually very advanced. It worked by detecting and mapping the brain's alpha waves, and then by using AI-powered software, it was able to convert those waves into 3D rendered images. The images were then uploaded to the cloud, and using quantum-powered satellite technology, those images were then transmitted out into the universe in real time. The universe would then reflect back those images greatly amplified to the subject, enabling them to manifest essentially any dream or desire they so wished. Money, wealth, fame, and love were all the commonly manifested desires. Initially, the system worked very well. People's lives began to improve, as did the overall well-being of mankind. We all celebrated such a significant milestone within our human civilization, and life was good. We were happy. However, within little less than 1 year, the technology suffered a catastrophic failure. Even though it was highly advanced, the AI system could not understand or take into consideration the vast complexity of human emotions. Dreams and desires started to become reflected back to the wrong subjects. Wealth and fortune were given to those who were already in power, and bad luck, illness, depression, anxiety, and poverty were all given to those who were already struggling in their day-to-day lives. As soon as people began to realize what was happening, they started to revolt. Riots and civil unrest broke out in every major city across the world. Politicians, bankers, corporations, and even religious leaders were all blamed, and the people demanded that the wealth be shared out and given back to those who rightly manifested it. The authorities began to lose control, and the military and armed forces were called upon to help with crowd control. But the chaos began to spiral. In a blind panic, the leaders ordered that a small nuclear detonation was to be used. It was intended simply to be a scare tactic. They hoped that it would shock people back into submission. It was never intended to cause any harm. Unfortunately, within the confusion, there was a miscommunication between the military generals and the world leaders. The payload was accidentally dialed in too high, so when the blast was ordered, it ended up killing millions. Once the dust had settled, it was ordered that all of the devices worldwide were to be destroyed. Meditation was also strictly forbidden, and anybody caught using these techniques would be immediately sentenced to death. The authorities didn't want another chaotic situation on their hands, so to speak. Sadly, both my mother and father were included in those who were caught up in the blast. They had sent me to stay with my grandparents in the country due to the growing unrest. I didn't even know that they were taking part in the protests that day. I was too young to understand what was happening around us. When I was told of the news, I didn't know how to react. I ran away into the forest. Numb and in shock, I walked for days and days. I'm not sure how I survived, yet somehow I did. Eventually, I became adapted to my surroundings, and the quiet, tranquil nature of the forest became my new home. I spent the next 15 years living this off-grid lifestyle, too emotionally damaged to even contemplate returning back to the city. But then, during one stormy night, I awoke from a dream. It was about the manifesting device. I had already learned of the news that all of them were destroyed, but in my dream, I saw it. I placed it onto my head, and within seconds, I was able to witness time reversing back on itself. All of the damage, destruction, and chaos had never even taken place. Then something incredible happened. My parents, I spoke to them. They were still alive. That is when I suddenly realized, if one device did still exist, I could use it to bring justice and fairness back to the world, but also I could use it to bring back my parents. I knew it would be a dangerous journey, but I did not hesitate. I packed some essential food items and started to walk back in the direction of the city. I had no idea what to expect. I had been living in the forest for so long, and I wasn't even sure if there were any other survivors. Yet I had to try. The very fabric of who we were as a civilization was depending on it. The once forest child was now on a mission to rescue the world. My name is Finn, and I'm going to take back what is rightfully ours.
Who are you? Can I trust you? Can I trust you?
This is Finn. If you enjoyed watching this episode, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified of the next episode.